Hey, I'm Holly Bryant. I am the creator of the Excel tool that you've probably gotten your hands on. I'm going to do a quick tutorial and try and condense this into as little time as possible to teach you guys what you need to know to be able to make this work for you and help you manage your money and business to determine whether you have a solvent business. And there's a couple of gee whiz things that might even help you determine the best reorder points and where your opportunities lie, and help you doing some of that analysis, and it'll just like probe your thinking in that regard. So I'm gonna go ahead, send myself to the corner. This is the first tab. It's called the inventory tab. We're gonna go ahead and enter a few things in here. Oh, that might be, yeah, okay. And then we're gonna enter, so these are what you have on hand. Say that's your stock, right? These are what you're due in. Say you place an order. And that's how you keep track of it. I also made a column for testers just so you can have a visual on that. And then also a column for needs, because lately we've had to be on the watch for certain colors for our customers because they haven't been so readily available, but this will help you to keep track of those requests. That's really all there is to this page. You can customize it, make it your own with your brand name here. I also have useful comments throughout that will pop up and help you remember some of what I'm talking about right now. So this just reminds you that you enter what you have and you do not have to enter any zeros. I personally don't like that because it makes the spreadsheet too busy. So that's that. Then you move on to your distributor orders. In a previous version that some of you might have, I did have a lot of functionality in here and formulas that'll help auto-populate stuff. But I realized with my sister and upline that there were some inconsistencies in the invoicing. So without saying too much more on that, all you need to worry about is putting the correct date, because everything in these other tabs over here is going to pull by date, and it'll report to you like certain things you've done in January, like PV, and it'll report like this is an expense, right? Because you're spending money to place an order. So it'll record this as your January expenses, and it's going to pull from that date column, and it's only going to add together for January the ones that are marked January. So you need to make sure this is nice and accurate. Pull up your invoice and follow exactly what this says in the invoice. So for example, when you look on your invoice, this is where you're going to see your order date. So January 20th, that's exactly what I'm going to enter here in month, day, and year format. I'm going to tab over. I prefer to tab because if you push enter, it's going to send your next cell down like that. So just start getting in the habit of tabbing. It's much easier. Retail product is going to come from right here, ladies. So 1054 tab. I did not use SeneBucks or SeneCash. This is more just for awareness that you've used it. PV right here. So you can see this. Your PV is found right here on your invoice. So I'm going to enter 527. The discount level achieved is right here, 50%. Tab. I did not order any supplies, samples, testers. It would be listed right here, and if it is, you're going to enter that dollar amount right here. If you don't have anything, again, you do not have to enter your zeros. Oops. Tab over to shipping. More often than not, it's going to be $11, but I have seen some variance in that, and I've never seen variance in the handling, so it's probably going to be $4.50. Your tax rate, just for awareness as well, 8.25 on this invoice. You can see the tax rate right here. and here's the shipping and handling. And then you're going to put the total tax dollar amount, which is $88.23 in this case, and your total grand total that you paid like on your credit card is going to be $630.73. So the important thing to remember here is that this total will be feeding into reports, and so will this total. And then, like I said before, it'll also pull your monthlies by date. So make sure your date's in there right. So these three cells, this column and these two cells, are the most important to make sure you get right. All the other stuff in between is just for your awareness and record keeping. Flip over to customer orders. This is my favorite spreadsheet. You also, the date is really important, so I remind you of that in this comment. Let's make a fake order. So let's say I get my shipment in from January 20th and I make my first sell January 30th. So I'll enter the date the same way for Miss Jenny Smith. Do not enter anything in this column. This column is going to populate based on what your customer orders over here, and you're going to pick from the drop-down menu. So let's say your customer ordered an apple cider collection. It automatically pops up the price over here on your retail. Then so this reminds you, do not enter the retail value by hand, okay? That's why my comments are there, just to make sure you don't do that. If you do mess it up, I do want to teach you how to drag the formula back up. If you accidentally like hit delete right there and you're like, how do I get it back? So you can see, you can take above or below. I'll take below because I don't have any values from over here feeding into that, and I don't want to mirror that part. So I'm going to take, and when I hover this in the bottom right corner and I get the black cross like that, you then left click and drag up, and you've now got your formula back here. See the long formula? This is a massively long formula because it's adding up all 16 items that you can do. Okay, you can only go up to 16. So if you have a customer who orders more than 16 items in one transaction, then you actually need to do some number crunching on your own, unfortunately. And then I'm going to change this back to a white fill. This is how you change the fill of the cell, because I'm a little anal retentive and I want it to go every other so that visually I can keep track of the lines when I'm looking at this at a glance. So coming over to shipping and handling, this is something that might conflict with what your upline may tell you. I've heard a lot of people that charge a flat rate of $5, which is fine, but keep in mind you're going to be calculating your customer's order almost down to the penny because of this spreadsheet. So you can more accurately charge your shipping because you're going to be charging a very precise number for your transaction fee, which nobody expects you to absorb. Okay, so first, let's say you are going to use an invoice. Invoices for PayPal and Square both charge the same amount, 2.9% plus 30 cents on everything. That includes the shipping, the handling, and even the taxes. So when you click on invoice in the drop-down menu, it's going to auto-populate your transaction fee. This number is going to go up slightly when I go and enter my shipping. So every time I've shipped a product so far, it's been $277. So I'm going to pad that just a little bit because I like to send my stuff in cute little organza bags to be more professional, and I like to include a couple business cards and the padded envelope, and so there's some things. So you might want to add 50 cents a quarter, something like that. So let's put $3.50 for shipping and handling. This is really the only column you can kind of fudge to recoup your business costs. But you're also going to charge the transaction fee. So there it went up slightly because I added in shipping and handling. Your taxes, you're going to type in the percentage that you're going to charge for your state tax. I'm going to put 8.25. And that also brought your transaction fee up just slightly because it charges you for the whole transaction. So you're going to pass that on to your customer. So the total that you would charge your customer is $65.46 once you include tax, shipping, and invoice transaction fee. Let's say you have a military customer and you offer 10% off to all your military peeps. Enter 10% here, hit enter, and it's going to give you your total, including the discount, which is only going to be 10% off of the retail value. Okay, so it'll be 10% off of 55, and then everything else adds back in. Right here will tell you what to charge your customer then. So if they get that discount, it's going to be $59.80. So that saved them about $5. They still have to pay their transaction fee and their shipping and handling, and they would understand that, but it did bring down their total, so it's still totally worth it. Just want to show you, if you add another item, say they ordered an extra color along with the apple cider collection. Let's say they ordered Aussie Rose as a single color. It's going to add that to your retail automatically, so that brings it up to 80. And then all of this is already in there, and it bumps up to exactly where it's supposed to be. And then this is what you would charge your customer, $85.08. So I really recommend keeping exact accounting of that with your order rather than padding shipping and handling and having to track transaction fees as an expense, because it's going to be super annoying when you go over to your expenses tab and you have to enter like 100 transaction fees, or you're going to lose track of it and you're going to forget that you nickeled and dimed yourself an expense that you didn't account for. So go ahead and account for that here and just change the way you do business. That's what I recommend. If you still want to charge $5 for shipping, you can, but I do recommend that you incorporate this transaction fee and pass it on to your customer so that you don't have to track it as an expense. All right, enough on that. Moving on to customer details. This is a really quick and easy spreadsheet. You're going to enter their last name. This is all just direct input from you. So Jenny Smith again, her email, her address, city, state, zip, all that is just what you're going to enter from the information that you have. And then you can keep track, if you want to, you can keep track of their preference for types of colors they like. If they like both, it'll populate both. If they don't, you can delete that and you can put no preference. Moving on, if they like matte only, that helps you to be aware of that when they're asking you for color advice. You can reference this tab and remember that they really don't like shimmer and frost, and so you can make sure you recommend the right kinds of colors. You can also track their history of purchases, which is really cool because then you have a quick reference. Every time you're dealing with that customer, you can familiarize yourself with the things they like to buy and the products they've exposed themselves to. And you can recommend new products to them that they may not have thought about, may not have tried. If someone's super in love with all the LipSense stuff, it might be time to segue them into a new type of product. So this can kind of give you an idea of how to follow up with each of your customers. So it's just kind of a neato thing. And then you can also, I know we've had some out of stock stuff, so this is another place, along with what you're keeping track of on your inventory sheet. This is another place to keep track of it by customer. So if someone requested Be Ruby and you've annotated that on your inventory sheet, then you can come over here and annotate it by customer so that when you do order it, because you know you need it, you can come back here and see nicely who wanted that and get back in touch with them. Expenses tab is super easy. All you're going to do is log the date, what you bought, and the amount. I included the first line for you, and it's going to directly pull from this mileage log. Let's see, let me make this bigger for you. So this number is pulling from the mileage log, which I will cover in a minute. If you don't want to see this on your expenses because you want to, it's kind of a hidden cost. I compare it to like buying diapers at the grocery store. You don't really know how much you're spending on diapers because you're buying it with groceries. You're going to fill up your car with gas anyway, so you're not really going to realize how much you're spending to do your business because you're filling up your car regardless, right? So the important thing is that you make sure you track that in the mileage log and you account for that on your taxes at the end of the year. But if you want to see it rolled into your expenses, you can feel free to do that. If you don't, you just left click right here on the row. It's going to highlight the whole row, and then you right click and you scroll down to delete, and it'll delete the whole row off of there, and it won't change any functionality of any of the other stuff going on in here. By the same token, if you need to add more rows, just pick a spot in the middle of here anywhere. It doesn't matter where. Pick a spot, right click, hit insert, and it's going to insert more rows for you to enter more expenses. So if you run out of room down here, that's how you enter more rows. And that goes the same for your distributor orders. That goes the same for your customer orders. That is how you add rows without messing up formulas. So I added that row. Now I don't love how it did that out of sequence every other thing. So I'll teach you that really quick. It's not really anything that's going to change the functionality, but if you highlight the formatting of 2 rows that you like and the pattern you want to follow, you can drag it down and it's gonna redo that for you. So if you take it all the way back down to the bottom, it'll fix it. So for now, I'll just delete it back out because I don't want to drag it all the way down right now. All right, so this total is going to pull into your profit reporting and to your distributor roll-up tab, and that's the most important thing. It's going to come out of the expenses tab, as well as just keeping track of some things. I've also had people ask about keeping track of phone bills and internet bills and things like that, and you can totally do that here. Again, those are hidden costs, things that you would do no matter what if you had this business or not. So if you want to not see that in this list affecting your bottom line profit, and you just want to track it to the side for tax purposes, you can definitely customize that for yourself and just track it over here to the side so you don't forget at the end of the year, and track the other stuff over here, like things like this. Like I bought a $13 tripod, I would enter that there. Your organza bags, your padded envelopes, those types of things I would enter right here in the expense tab. Business cards, anything that you spend money on that's not a hidden cost, and you need to remember what you're spending money on so you can determine your profit. So the distributor roll-up tab. The cool thing here, I'm going to start with the bottom part, make it a little bit bigger. The cool thing here is that this is going to pull from your inventory tab, the first one we went over. It's going to show you a roll-up by small groupings that make sense together. LipSense, Gloss, Oops Remover, Senederm Solutions, Skincare. Things that group together nicely. I've done that for you so you can get a quick at a glance for what you have on hand and what you have due in. So looking right here, see, I'm going to take that down just so I can make a point. Let's say you don't have very much on hand, okay? Just because I want to make a point. It's going to show you that you have $100 worth of product on hand, right? So you know also that you have $225 worth of retail product coming in. So you can take pre-orders based off of what you have coming in because you know it's coming, and you can sell through what you have. That'll give you an idea of, if I sell everything that I have on hand, I'm going to have $100 in my pocket. That just gives you an idea of where you are if you were to liquidate and get rid of everything. Going back to the top, enter your brand name again or your first name. This is going to track your fast starts. That program isn't available anymore. It may come back, so I'm just going to leave it here. But a lot of people who started recently do have access to that. So all you're going to do is put your start date in here. Mine is January 18th. And it's going to pull your PVs, like I said, from the distributor order tab, which is you're going to type in directly right here. So that's going to pull from your PV total right here. And it's going to pull it into here. And it will turn green when you hit 1,000 PV. And then you'll know, yay, I got my fast start. It also pulls your PV into your monthly totals. It's pulling by date, like I warned you. And if you have a greater than $300 order, it's going to turn green. Okay? So let's see what else. Commissions. You're going to directly, after you get your commission check for each month, you're going to directly enter that here. I am not going to have that pull from the commissions calculator because the commissions calculator is just that. It's only a prediction, and it's assuming that you have met all the qualifications that you need to meet to make all parts of your commissions check. So I will put that disclaimer out there in a minute again when I cover the commissions tab. But so you're going to enter reality right here. Whatever you actually got on your commissions check, you're going to enter here. It's going to sum this column, and it's going to output it to right here. So let's say you made $100 on your commissions for January. That is going to pull into here, and you're going to see in your revenue, this is going to be your sales plus your commissions. So remember, we entered our sample example order. Jenny Smith ordered a collection and a color, so it was like, must have been $85.08 because it's your orders plus your commissions. Orders plus commissions. That's the only way you're going to make money, right? So your grand total for your revenue year to date is $185. And your expenses, okay? Your expenses are pulling from the expenses tab. It's going to pull right here from this total, and it's going to add it to your orders, which is the orders tab. It's going to add this overall total, okay? Your year-to-date total, not your monthly. So those two added together, for example purposes, we had one order in, and then we had the mileage expense. So that's what it currently is adding together. So for example purposes, our profit year-to-date is revenue minus expenses, and that's putting us in the hole $472. And here is something that I wanted to show you. This is going to remind you what this is for. But so basically, if you have a negative profit, it's going to tell you how many lip collections, just to give you an idea, how many $55 lip collections you need to sell in order to gain profitability to get you to at least 0. So in this case, you need to sell 9 lip kits to get back out of the hole. And the point I wanted to draw, something that you can, the analysis piece of this, you're looking at this going, I have to sell 9 kits. Well, how much do I have on hand? I only have 4 lipsticks on hand. I don't have any gloss. I don't have even, I only have $100 worth of product I can even sell. So what does that tell you? That tells you you need to make an order ASAP. And in fact, you probably should have made the order earlier. So this is why the spreadsheet is going to help you to manage your business better, because it's going to show you based on what you're selling and what you have due in. So even if you accounted for what you have due in, that's only $325 worth of product. That's still, even if you sold through all that, that still doesn't get you out of the hole. See that? Okay, so you need to at least make another couple $100 in retail order to even put yourself in a position to get solvent. Okay, so that's one piece of analysis that you can use to help you manage things a little bit better. So moving on, I'm trying to keep this to half an hour. This is your profitability. It's very similar to what you saw right here, except it's breaking it out month to date. So it's going to pull by date from all those different tabs, and it's going to tell you highlighted in red or green if you are in the hole or if you are in the good. So it's totally understandable to be in the hole at the beginning. This is my first month. Obviously, these aren't my real numbers, but you can expect to see red here, and you should not be surprised by that. As you move forward throughout the year, hopefully this gets super, super green, 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 because your commissions are going to go up as you recruit, and they're going to go up as you build that seed money that you're making from your profits, from your profit margin from buying wholesale and selling retail. So this will be the year-to-date roll-up, which also is the same number that's pulling right here. So it's a little redundant, but you want to see that alongside of all your monthlies. So I put it there as well. Commissions. This looks complicated, but it's not that bad. I'm going to blow it up just a bit. So you're going to enter your brand name. This is split out by month, and it goes all the way out to December for 2017. Okay? And these little tabbies here help me with my formulas, so don't mess with those numbers. Back over to here, you're going to enter your downlines. You'll only have to enter it once for the year. Once your downlines are in there, all you have to do is enter their PSV that comes from back office monthly. Okay, so Jenny Smith again, and she is your first downline. And we're going to keep track of her rank just because. And let's say her PSV was $1,500. That's going to give you a downline commission of $10 because your downline commission is based on the first 100, and you get 10% for your first downline. That's going to be $10 every single time. But it will calculate that for you, and your GSV bonus is also 10% for your first downline. So if you think about it, that's based off of PV. So the PV for this is 750, and then your GSV is based off of 750 minus the first 100 because you already got paid on the first 100. And so that 10% is 10% of 650. So that's where the 65 comes from. Now you have an understanding of how those numbers are being calculated. You don't have to do it, but you understand it. So all you have to enter is go to the back office, see what the PSV is for your downlines, and put it in here. So I'm going to enter one more first line, or let's do second line just for funsies. And this girl did, let's say, 600 PSV. Remember, your second lines get 20% of your first one of her. You get 20% of her first 100 dollars. So the numbers are slightly different, and that's based on those tables I showed you over there. I don't know if this is pointing the right way. Anyway, it's based off those tables I showed you, so don't mess with those numbers. And then it's going to, as you enter their numbers throughout the year, it's going to add her totals over here. Those are her grand totals year to date. And then it's going to add your totals based on these columns all the way down for all your downlines, okay? So these are your grand totals for the year, and these are your downlines grand totals for the year. Not their commissions, but it's their, no, it is the commissions that you'll make off of them, not their commissions, if that makes sense. So it's the grand total of what you're making off of each downline individually, and then it sums it up for your grand total. Over here, do not mess with this. It has a ginormous formula in there. Don't mess it up. Your commission prediction for the month is also auto-calculated based on what you have down here, so don't mess with that either. It's just going to show you, hey, if you had these two downlines and you qualified for every part of your commission check, this is what you would make. Okay, and I will pull up this disclaimer one more time for you. you will not make what this prediction is telling you if you haven't qualified for all parts of the requirements. You have to have placed, for example, a 300 PV order and many other requirements, which I kind of listed out here. I don't want anyone complaining to me that, hey, I thought I was gonna get $3,000 and I only got $2,500. Not my fault, okay? Keep track of what you need to do to qualify for your commissions, and it's more of a heads up of where you'll be once you do. So it's motivation, and also for like our princesses, this will probably be pretty dang accurate because they already meet all those qualifications. So if they input their stuff, they're gonna know what they're gonna make. So that's kind of cool. Mileage log, super simple. Customize it for yourself, put in your vehicle. Some people have two because you've got a family or you're married or you have a boyfriend, whatever. So you're gonna enter your two vehicles that you use for business, and you're going to enter the date. That's important. You're gonna enter the vehicle you used, the purpose, the starting odometer, the ending odometer, and the total miles will calculate for you, and then all the miles will be summed up and totaled right here. And that is multiplied against the 2017 mileage rate, and it will give you your total expense for the year right here. And that is the square or the cell that's pulling into your expense tab here on the first line. So if you don't want to see that again, you can delete that line and have confidence that it'll be here for you at the end of the year when you do your taxes. This table is just what is needed for formula calculations. So I was gonna hide it, but I'm just gonna leave it here. If for whatever reason, if some of any of these prices were to change, you could come back here and change the prices accordingly, and it would keep the functionality of your whole spreadsheet going. So that is the whole tutorial, and this is my second try recording it because I wanted to make it shorter, and I also changed a couple things that I needed to adjust before I released the video. So I just want to thank anyone who's found me already. Some people found my tutorial that I did yesterday already and contacted me asking me for the spreadsheet, which, by the way, I'm happily giving away for free. I am not asking anything for this. I'm doing this because I want to make my downline successful, and I don't see any point in not sharing it with you guys. I would love to help anyone that has any special nuances with their particular situations. If you have something that you want, you're not an Excel guru, not that I'm a guru, but I have a lot of experience using Excel. If you have something specific that you kind of wish you could see, I'm always open to hearing suggestions and making this better. I may not be able to re-release it to everyone the way that you want it, but I can definitely customize yours or give you a private, suggestion to help you make this your own. You can find me. I'm going to be doing a lot of trainings and tutorials. I'm going to be posting them to my YouTube channel. So if you found my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you want to join my team page, I would love to have you there as well. If you want to put your downlines in there, that's fine too. I'm happy to house anyone. I don't ask for anything in return. If you want to find me on Facebook, it is my team page is Holly's Hustlers, just like the logo on my YouTube channel. And my sales page is Maj Lips. And my Gmail is majorlips00@gmail.com. I already had a really sweet lady find me on YouTube yesterday, and she really wanted to pay me for my Excel spreadsheet, and I believe in karma, so I want to give this to you guys for free. If you insist on wanting to donate, I wouldn't reject it, but I'm not expecting anything in return, really, guys. I just want everyone to succeed. I think we're all going to blow this up. So good luck with your excelling.